Spinner.
Yeah.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I want to learn more. So I am going to record our session. The reason for this scarf I'm making is to wear. And it's actually it could be a scarf, but I'm doing it more for ankle. And
Okay.
I'm gonna make a bell with that. And when I'm making the bell, I'll tell you the story. So there is this goddess of wisdom, and a saint wanted her to follow him to wherever he needed to go. So she said, I'll follow you, provided you never look back. And he agrees. And so she follows him along. She initially had an anklet, that is tinkling,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
when she's walking. And the rule is she shouldn't turn back, which means essentially don't doubt yourself. Keep going ahead. I'm going to follow you. But then she decides to test him by keeping her anklet silent after a certain time. So he waits for the tinkle, and the ankle is not tinkling anymore. So then he looks back. You know. So she looks at him in reproach. See, I told you, right? So then he begs her. He says, "Please, I apologize for looking back." She says, "That's fine." She says, "I need to honor the space where I stood." Because, see, the thing is, what we are not getting from this story, I am going to bring up this story. There is two ways to look at the same situation. This is a goddess who tested him, and he kind of behaved a different way. Then she gave him rope. And so she, in turn, tells him, "Hey, ask wisdom, I'm always going to follow you." Just like footsteps. You see only one footstep. God is carrying you, right? Like, have you heard about
Yes. Yes.
So that's one way to listen. Okay. So one way to think is, okay, so he got his lesson. Now he's not going to look back. But I am also coming from the goddess perspective. At one point, she dares to test him, right? Like what I'm saying is, as a goddess, I'm going to talk now. So I feel to me too, right? Like as a goddess, why do I need to test him? He told you he's going to follow. Why cannot you give him the space? So at some point, she wants to be validated, right? So she is giving herself a timeout, saying, okay, you know what? Because I tested you, I screwed up, essentially. So I'm going to follow you as wisdom. Wherever you go, don't look back. I'm going to follow you as wisdom. But as a goddess, I'm going to say, okay, because I tested him, I'm going to ground myself, I'm going to nourish myself, and I'm going to bring people home. I'm going to always be there for them when they ask of me. So she stood in the space where she tested him, and she says, this is where I'm going to grow abundance in the afternoon, nurturing at night, and I'm going to be home for them because I need to be more grounded and not test people. This is another way. But at the same time, my wisdom with you is going to follow you everywhere you go. Same way that saying the goddess wisdom is going to. So your wisdom is going to follow with your daughter. So the reason I'm bringing it up is it's very emotional for you today, right? Because your daughter moved out and you said you couldn't even get out of bed. Then we had this conversation in the video like 2 weeks ago where we
And
were
I did
talking
do
about.
this. I did give her a ride, and I charged her $5. Like you told me.
And what did she say?
She said she agreed.
Oh, okay. So she respects it. You know what? By doing that, you're gaining tremendous respect from her. She's seeing my mom is this way. I'm going to treat myself better. And one thing you can tell her is when she comes home, show her your anklet. She say, I'm going to hold this space for you. I'm not going to doubt you. I'm going to let you fly away. When you come back, know that you'll always have a home with me. If you want, I'll have me make this for you for your daughter. Okay, right? I'll make one for her right now so that you'll always hold that space. So I'm going to put it on your leg. And this is for you to know. You never need to doubt yourself. Okay? Because God is always following her. And I have another piece, so I'll give you the other piece for your daughter. Tell her, like, I already bought this for you,
Yes.
and one for you, one for your daughter. So this way we made it two of the same fabric. It came
Okay,
from the
the
same
same
fabric. That's so precious. Like what would have been random chance of it happening, and for you it happened. So God had an intention, and I never even thought of telling you about the God's angle, which I kind of think differently. I always say, like, there is always two sides to a story.
Right.
And I feel like, we only hear one side. And I feel this is another way I think. I feel everybody says, oh, Jesus was betrayed by Judah. Like, how bad. What if Jesus was a regular male? This, Like, I feel like, some Christians might take different view. But hear me out. What if he was a regular person and he was betrayed by this whole crowd that put him on cross, couldn't live with it for 2,000 years, said, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Right.
It's not about Judah. It's about us being the Judah.
Yes.
And we are trying to say, we put this regular man and all of us were gods. We failed this guy, So I feel it's always two sides to a story. And I feel by not being thoughtful of the other side of the story, being like, the gods we're failing the humans, right? So I feel like, one anklet is for the human in us, one anklet is for the goddess in us. So one is for your daughter. Let us celebrate her ability to be free.
We did have a good visit.
And just like how I tied on you, give it to her.
Around.
And we always have 4 pieces inside us. One side is female side, which is the left side. And the right side is the male. So the male side, you never look back. Take always, like, keep moving ahead. Work through your challenges. Whatever wisdom you have, make those decisions. God will correct you. Okay, don't worry. Because if by chance we are on the wrong path, He's going to guide us back. Because He'll carry you back, right? Like my husband, when my kids were young, one would keep this middle one, right? He always was very, curious. So he'll run around, the toddler. If he wants going straight, he will never want to come back home during the walk. So my husband will stop in the middle of the street. He'll spin him 2-3 times.
Yeah.
So he loses direction.
Yeah.
And then he'll point him towards the home.
And he'd go home.
And this boy will be, I'm going to go home, go away. So, but he in his mind has no direction. So he head exactly where we wanted him to go.
That's a good idea.
So what I'm saying is, God will spin them around. So don't worry. So that is one thing. And then the other thing is, another thing is we have a big child in our belly, our own inner child. So we need to gather that person together. That's our soul is like lost, our inner child. So that's the string. It holds us. When we want to be somebody, we are falling apart, become a nobody and tie the string around. That's another way. And then the fourth one is the relationship we hold inside between us from the bottom to top is what we speak. If the relationship inside is so hurtful, you speak hurt. If it is so loving, you speak love. If you're scared, you speak scared. If you're hateful, you speak hateful. If you're hungry, you speak. So don't speak poison. Speak love. It doesn't matter what you put in your body. That doesn't make you a vegetarian. People think, oh, I'm vegetarian. You know who is vegetarian? Is who does not speak sarcasm. Sarc means you're cutting their flesh. Sarc is flesh. Yes. Chasm is you're cutting. If you're being hurtful, you are a meat eater because you're eating my flesh.
Right.
But if you are speaking kindness, you are a vegetarian. So vegetarianism is about speech. Don't speak poison. Don't speak sarcasm. Don't speak pain.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what you put in, because you are the thing you put in.
Yeah.
Like how you are what you eat. If I eat human, I'm a carnivorous, right? If by chance I eat vegetable. I'm a vegetarian. So be the human you need to be. You don't need to be a God because being God is very easy. God doesn't have to live by rules. He's above law. But being human is the most painful place because people hurt you, still you have to run around them.
Yes,
This is my gift to your daughter, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I love you.
I love you too. Good night.